Hello there, hello. It's Watch If Podcast, and the ghosts and ghouls have crept away back into their tombs and coffins. It's no longer Spooktober. It is now November. It's November.
No theme. November.
Yeah,
Normal
no theme.
November.
Yeah.
Normal November. It's not catchy, no.
So yes, we are going to be back to our usual skit, bringing something to the table each.
Mm-hmm.
And this week we've got two big old reviews.
Massive, if you will.
Massive reviews. Then we've got some bleak reviews from Henry.
Mm-hmm.
And
if you will.
And then I get a little more civilized with a civilized review
nice.
about civilization.
I'm so proud of you.
Thank you.
So, where do we start?
Let's start with... I'm going to start.
Okay.
Before your throat actually caves in.
Yes, yeah.
Oh, that was awful.
Yes, I'm going to be reviewing a recent video game release, which is Sid Meier's Civilization 6. Greedy bastard. I love the Civilization series. It's one of my favourite video game series.
It's been going on for a long time.
It's been going on for a very long time, about 25 years, in fact.
Oh,
wow.
Which I know because I bought the 25th anniversary edition.
Oh, right.
I mean,
Kind of explains it,
He
really.
has to be so lazy if he's only done six games in
6 games in 25 years.
I know,
yeah.
what's he doing?
God.
Why can't he be like FIFA, like every year, just bang out another Civilization?
Well, Civilization takes a long time to develop.
Rome wasn't
That's
built in a
really
day.
true, yeah.
No. But you can do it in a day with this game. So
Yeah, just set the time.
Yeah. So basically the premise behind this Civ 6, as it is colloquially known, basically you chart human history, you choose a nation to play as, and you start in 3000 BC, you play all the way through, and then you can win in a variety of ways. You can kick everyone's ass and take their capitals, military victory, you can spread your religion to the ends of the world, you can launch a spaceship and win a science victory. Trying to think. Oh yeah, the weirdest one, the culture victory, which is basically you get lots of people to come over and be tourists in your country.
Oh, really?
Oh, nice.
Which, having worked retail on Oxford Street, tourism is not a victory. It is defeat by 1,000 ways.
Thank God for Brexit. Am I right?
But yeah, the ways that this game is different from previous ones are that there's different leaders this time, there's different countries, some of which I've never even heard of.
Are they real places or?
They are all real people and places, yeah. Although, except for one who may or may not just be a myth or legend, but they're fairly certain he's real. He is Gilgamesh. Of Sumeria.
I'm not
Is
good
that
at
a real
history.
place?
Yeah.
It is a real place.
Okay, that sounds like one of those places that Marvel would use because they can't legally save the Ukraine.
It was the precursor to Babylon, basically.
Okay. Wait, Babylon's real as well?
Babylon's definitely real.
Okay.
Yeah.
I thought it was
sorry,
just
I
a
didn't
TV show. No? No?
Oh,
Babylon
it's where
5?
they have the Hanging Gardens. I
Yes. Which you can build in the game.
believe. Oh, really?
Yeah.
Interesting.
So yeah, major differences are that the diplomacy is a bit more nuanced now. So in the past, whenever you went to war with someone, everyone hated you because they thought you were an asshole. Whereas now you can actually add a reason why you go to war.
So you can form alliances with people.
You can form alliances, which you've been able to do in the past. But now, if someone's taken a city from you or they've like spread their religion, you can use that as like a justification for war.
Okay. So I assume it's like fixed reasons. You can't make up your own reason like
you can't type into the computer.
they stole all my cookies.
Yeah.
War.
Yeah. You can't play as like a as like a Greek and be like, oh, they're not Greek.
That's what we do.
Because that would
what
be
we
your
do, yeah,
justification, wouldn't it be?
Yeah, no, it's true.
Yeah. Other changes are one of the small changes, but I quite like it, is that the game kind of like sections off bits of land now as continents and gives them names.
So like a grouping type thing.
Well, yeah, like
Does it affect the way that you play it at all? Or?
Yeah, a little bit. So if you found cities or you conquer cities in another continent, if you've got like a kind of government which supports like colonialism, then you get bonuses for it.
Okay.
But
Like adventuring. And...
yeah, Yeah, so there's like nice little things like that. Oh, the government thing is another big change. You can actually have a government now.
Okay.
So you get like these little cards which have bonuses on, and you can put them together to create the kind of government that you like.
Form a cabinet.
Yeah. So you could have like a really militaristic one, which gives you an army super duper powers, or you could focus on trade. Yeah, and then also in all the Civ games previous, when you build buildings in your cities, they're just like names on a list. They give you like plus food or production. Whereas now, when you build them, you actually see them on the map, and they actually take up space in the game as well.
That's cool.
Same with Woodlands.
That seems like an odd thing that's not been in the games before.
Yeah,
you can see the cities you're building.
Yeah, it makes it a little less abstract, and you can actually see them develop.
So I've not played any of these, but so it's like a RPG RTS kind of.
It's definitely a turn-based strategy game.
Oh, it's turn-based.
Yeah, which is why I like the Civilization game, because I can play it at my own speed and I can eat snacks and then nothing's changed.
Nice.
Yeah, and I can watch TV in the background as well. There's been a few criticisms of the art style because it's got a little bit more cartoony. Civ 5 was very, very like naturalistic looking, realistic. Pardon you.
No, sorry.
Phones on silent, fellas.
But I don't mind it. I quite like it. Also, all of the leaders have like a personality. So like Gandhi likes peaceful people. I'm trying to think. Oh, Victoria, Queen of England. She likes founding cities all over the world, and if you stop her doing that, she gets angry at you.
Oh, right.
Nice.
So could you like try to impress her by taking over a bunch of cities and like offering them?
You
up
can
to
like
her?
appeal to their agendas.
Wait, so question: if you've got leaders already in the game, who are you? In the context of like a leader.
So you can choose any one of them to play as,
okay.
and then it fills the game with the other people you didn't choose. But one.
Well, no, like as in like if you're playing as England and Victoria is telling you things to do, who are you? Are you?
Oh right, no. So
you're just gods creating stuff. No, actually, no, that doesn't make sense.
You just play as your own leader. You don't choose someone.
Oh, okay.
As your leader, you are the leader.
Okay.
Okay.
But one interesting thing as well is that they have included multiple leaders for the same country, so you've got choices now, which they haven't done since Civ 4, which was quite a while ago.
Yeah, so like I was gonna say, because like Victoria wouldn't have been reigning in 3000 years BC.
Yeah. So like, yeah, obviously you can't have the ancient Americans because that didn't exist, but you can play as America from the start.
Okay.
It's like an alternate reality kind of thing, really. But
cool.
the only country that has 2 leaders at the moment is Greece.
Nice. So, yeah, who are they?
Pericles, who was the father of modern democracy.
I know who he is. Don't tell me who he is.
I didn't know who he is, so thank you, Tom.
There you go. And then Queen Gorgo, who was the wife of King Leonidas.
Again, I know who she is. You don't have to tell me, Tom.
Lena Headey.
It is, yeah. Yeah. So yeah, you can play as either of those. So like Pericles is like a more diplomatic leader, or you can play as Gorgo, who's more military.
It sounds like a very
That's factually
game.
correct. I can confirm.
Good. But I think they are going to give more countries multiple leaders.
Oh, like patch them in.
Yeah, I like that because for like the last, I think every Civ game has had Gandhi as the Indian leader, and there's literally been no one else. I think there was one extra one in Civ 4, but yeah.
Alright.
No one knows.
So, as a fan of the thick of it, would I like this game?
I think you'd like this. I don't know if Malcolm Tucker's going to be in it, but yeah. One highlight I want to bring out. I have a few issues with the game, but one of the highlights of it that makes up for everything is the music. And I think I've spoken to you all about this anyway.
Yeah.
But for the sake of the listeners, in all of the previous Civ games, nearly every country has its own soundtrack. So you can listen to music with like sitars in if you're playing as India, and then in Civ 5 every country had a soundtrack for when it was at peace and when it was war.
Okay. Was this when you play as that country or when you're
Yes.
like visiting that country?
Both. So you would hear your own soundtrack quite a lot of the time, but then when you met another country or you interacted with them, theirs would play instead.
Okay.
And you get that in this one, but the amazing thing with this one is every country now has 4 themes, and each one is kind of like a tune from that country's history or its like culture. So for an example that most people will understand, because this is England. I'll use the English example. They've used Scarborough Fair, the Simon Garfunkel song, but you get 4 variations on it. So you get the ancient, the medieval, the industrial, and the atomic version. Ooh. And you hear, again, I like your theme tune only plays once you found your first city. So it's kind of like when your people settle down and start developing a culture, you actually get your own soundtrack.
So was it just like quiet before then?
Yeah, there's just no music.
Oh wow,
that must have been really jarring.
Well, you
like when you hear it for the first time. Like...
You kind of found your city in your first or second turn in the game, so it's not that bad.
Okay.
But yeah, the Scarborough Fair one, when you start in the ancient era, it's just a single fiddle playing it with like I think there's a small drum in the background, and it's like really haunting and really beautiful, and it's like it does sound kind of like what you'd expect like a ancient Celt to be playing, but it's still Scarborough Fair. And then when you go into the medieval era, there's like this big string section, like a sort of jaunty band playing it. That's cool. And then in the industrial era, there's like a whole orchestra. And then in the atomic era, it's the same tune, but it's got synths.
Ooh.
I just love that. Like you kind of build your own national anthem as you play through the game.
That's cool. It sounds like the bit in Bioshock Infinite with the barbershop quartet doing God Only Knows.
Yeah, exactly. And like there's the same for all the other countries. I don't recognise them because I'm not from the Congo.
Oh, what's the Greek one?
Sing it. I don't know it off by heart. But it's pretty cool. It's pretty cool. Okay. It's not just their Eurovision entry from like the last year or so.
From 2004?
Well, I don't know.
Is that
a good year?
It's the year they won.
Oh, right. Soz.
Yeah. Anyway,
But yeah, that's my Civ 6 review. I haven't reviewed it yet. I just told you what it was.
Yeah.
It's really good. There's a few issues with it, so I'm going to give it an 4 out of 5. But there's DLC coming, which could possibly make it a 5.
Yeah. Follow our Instagram for whenever that review goes up.
Yeah.
We don't know when, but just follow it.
Just what's the name of the Instagram? I keep forgetting.
Outwatch Reviews.
Okay, there we go.
Or Outwatch Podcast.
Yeah.
Okay. Shall I go next?
You can go next.
Yeah. Guys, so this is Series 3 of Black Mirror, which is very exciting.
This is,
yeah.
Oh, right. Are you Charlie Brooker?
As I pull off my face. So Black Mirror TV series created by Charlie Brooker for Channel 4 started in 2011, 12, I think. One series of 3 episodes, then a few years later another series of 3 episodes, a Christmas special, and then Netflix bought it. And they've commissioned 12 episodes, I believe. 12?
I don't know if they did 6 episodes now and they're doing 6 episodes in like a few months time, yeah.
I can't wait for more. Because this series is really good. For people who don't know what it is, it's anthology type series where every episode is its own short film about some kind of technological or societal kind of change. So it's like it's all kind of real life except, and it's tricky to explain because some are based very much in reality and some are dystopian futures. And it's very it's interesting because even if you don't like one episode in particular, there'll be ones that you like. And the way that Charlie Brooker describes it very eloquently is that it's a box of dark chocolates. So you don't know what you're going to get, but you just know it's going to be really fucking dark. And 6 new episodes have gone on Netflix. And have you guys watched many of them?
I've never watched any.
I've watched the first one.
I've only seen the first one as well.
Okay. So the first one I wasn't crazy about. I know, Tom, you liked it.
I liked it. I wouldn't rate it as highly as previous series.
Wouldn't rate it as high as... The first episode is about rating systems,
Oh, sorry.
by the way, so...
I thought you were making the puns because we're reviewing them.
Oh, no. Yeah, so the first episode, it's kind of... Everybody's got a rating system. It's like if Instagram was your life kind of thing.
That's cool.
It's a very interesting idea, but there was something lacking in it, and I think I wasn't surprised when at the end... It said, like, based on an idea by Charlie Brooker, but it wasn't written by him.
It's written by Rashida Jones.
Yeah, her and someone else, I think. But for me, that was a scary one because... Not scary as in I found it scary, but I was hesitant because this is the first time that there's been much of an American input in it.
Yeah.
And it felt like that was a dumbed-down version of Black Mirror for me. I felt that was like, here's
palatable version.
A beginner's introduction to Black Mirror, that episode, I think. So I was a little cautious after that one. But after that, the series gets really, really good. The second, because it's so varied, throughout the series.
Can I ask a question?
Yeah, sure.
Are they all different realities, or is this based in one singular reality
There
where
are-
it's the same kind of
Like continuity.
Yeah.
There are a few links to different episodes. Like the last episode has at the bottom of the news report references to other episodes.
Okay.
Like something I didn't.
Interesting.
Something I didn't even realize until I recently rewatched the episode White Bear from series 2. I was showing my girlfriend it and she was freaked out. She really doesn't like it, but just because it's so bleak and desperate. And yeah, there's like a news report that says something about the White Bear episode in it at the end of the series.
Okay.
And the technology from the episode called The Entire History of You is in the Christmas special, but it's not the main part of it.
In the Christmas special, though, there is references to the many different things. Like even the song she sings in karaoke in the Christmas special is the song from like 2 Million Credits.
Yeah.
So there's lots.
There's
of little
links,
Easter eggs.
but they could easily take place in different realities.
Okay. So they might be more like Easter eggs rather than.
It's more Easter. I think it is more Easter.
Yeah.
Okay.
It is. They're all very dark. They're all pretty funny as well because Charlie Brooker is, I think, one of the smartest people ever because he can do two of the hardest things I think there is possible to make someone laugh and to scare someone, and he manages to do both so well. Like the series is so varied. The second episode is a video game based horror story. The third episode is my favourite. It's called Shut Up and Dance. That's about a teenager being blackmailed because somebody's filmed him on his webcam. And that is a very, very scary episode. The last few minutes are incredibly disturbing.
Because a lot of the fear factor from Black Mirror is the closest to our reality.
Yeah, it's interesting because you can tell Charlie Brooker is a guy who's like a fan of technology. Like in an interview he said he loves that he had to buy an electric toothbrush that he had to set up an account for. So you can tell he's not scared of technology. The point isn't be scared of technology. It's just like be careful with it, and like so it's just kind of highlighting how close we are to something potentially dangerous.
Yeah.
And the third episode is wonderful. Probably the highlight of the series for me, just because it's so dark and so disturbing, and it's the most real of them. The fourth episode is just about the only Black Mirror episode that's actually got a heart and it's actually sweet.
Okay.
It's like a romance. The fourth episode. It's also set in the 80s, which is very nice.
Interesting.
Fifth episode is like it's a very dystopian, military kind of an action sci-fi story.
Wow, okay.
And
It's quite a departure from previous
it's very
seasons then.
It's crazy, like how varied his ideas are. And the last episode is a feature-length one, 90 minutes. It's got Kelly MacDonald in it, who's lovely, and that's a good amalgamation of sci-fi stuff. Like there's some sci-fi ideas in it. Like bees have gone extinct, so they've replaced them with robot bees that will pollinate plants. But there's also very real stuff. There's a lot of stuff about Twitter and Instagram being very, very dangerous.
Okay.
And it's well worth watching. I'd say if somebody hasn't watched it, a good episode to start with would be Shut Up and Dance from Series 3 or White Bear from Series 2. Having said that, though, like I said, those are the two episodes I showed my girlfriend, and she now hates me for it. So if you're looking for something sweeter, I'd say Series 3, Episode 4 is San Junipero. That was a very, very nice episode.
With Mackenzie Davis.
Davis.
Yeah, she's great in Hot and Catch Fire.
And Gugum Battle She's good,
cool.
yeah. She's very, very
Another cool thing about the Netflix series, though, is like the thing I just want to bring up is the fact that you can tell they've got more money because the better composers they've brought in, like legit film composers.
Yeah,
for,
Clint
like,
Mansell does San Junipero.
And there's Ben McCready, and it's also Ben Salisbury and Jeff Barrow, who did Ex Machina.
Oh, Jeff from Portishead.
Yeah. So they came into the episode as well. So it's like so many big. They bring in the
and there's some big actors.
I was going to say the cast as well.
Yeah, you've got Bryce Dallas Howard in the first episode,
Yeah.
and you've got Jerome Flynn from Game of Thrones is in Shut Up and Dance.
And even the directors, I think the one who did the first episode one.
It's Joe Wright who did Hannah in the first episode.
So it's like they're bringing talent in.
Yeah, you could tell it's just kind of Netflix has let them. It's kind of what they've been wanting to do all along. That they don't have to limit an episode to 43 minutes.
Yeah.
And they don't have to worry about pacing because of ad breaks and things like that. They can just say, "Here's an episode," and it could be 50 minutes, and it could be 90 minutes.
Yeah. So they've got more creative freedom in Netflix.
Yeah.
Definitely.
Okay.
Definitely.
I just want to say, with what's happened in this season, are we now even more scared because Charlie Brooker, we've now learned, is a prophet from the future.
Oh,
Because he prophesizes he's prophesized like two major like news stories, which was the
National anthem.
the
first
Prime Minister relationship.
which was the first episode, which is a very brave episode
Yeah.
to start with.
And apparently in China there is now an actual thing where you can rate your interactions with people, and those people
wow.
who have
I
higher
think that
ratings.
exists everywhere, like even in the US, but like I think it got like shut down or something.
Well, the reason I'm bringing it up is because
Okay.
the people with higher ratings get better stuff
Oh
and get
shit!
treated better.
And that's
Okay.
That's the basis
the
of
black
first episode of series 3, which is pretty scary.
Yeah.
So if we just ask Charlie Brooker if he can just make things okay for us in the end, then
Can we get a happy ending one time, please?
So Charlie Brooker, make our podcast popular.
yeah,
Yeah,
but
that's
if
what we want, right?
yeah, but
We don't
if,
need him when we've got you on marketing.
That's true.
if Charlie
True.
Brooker makes our podcast popular, there's gonna be some weird loophole where we all kill each other or
Yeah.
something.
Yeah,
Well,
we can't live outside the podcast.
Yeah.
Honestly, as long as I survive, I'm fine with it.
All I'm going to say is someone needs to keep their eye on Big Brother now.
Yeah.
That's where it's going to kick off. Hashtag dead set.
Yeah. Future plug of a future Netflix there is a Dead Set.
Yeah.
I'm gonna force you to watch that.
Yeah.
Yeah. Or you
So
can-
yeah, so we've been the reviews for this episode for this series. I've been doing them one by one. They've been going out on.
They're all on Instagram
Yeah.
and they're all on Twitter. if you
Yeah,
wanna have a look at them.
because of the way that the series is, I've decided to review them individually because every episode is going to appeal to different people.
It's like it's more of a collection of short films than a series. isn't it?
Yeah.
Like, what if you had to give a number for the whole series? What would you say?
I'd say solid 4 stars. I
Okay.
think. I'd say watch if you can handle something a little bit darker than you'd expect. I'd say it's like a good kind of dark version of something like Doctor Who or Sherlock, when there's like a new thing every week,
Yeah.
like a new mystery.
Yeah.
I think
See,
there's
I need to watch it.
There's a lot to learn and gain from Black Mirror, though.
Yeah.
How would you say for someone who's like obviously seen the first 2 seasons, how does it compare?
It's a higher hit to miss ratio, I think, because there's only the first episode is the only one I think wasn't great, but then I may be in the minority of that, seeing as you two liked it. Yeah, the episodes are more consistently good and more varied content-wise.
Yeah.
I think consistent quality but varied content.
Oh, okay, cool.
Nice.
They're not going to put that on the posters.
Right, should we do The Arrival next?
Yes.
So you two, Nick and Ian,
Yes.
were lucky enough to go to was it Screen Unseen?
Yeah, Odeon Screen Unseen.
Do you want
Hashtag thanks Odeon.
what is that? What is Screen Unseen?
Basically, Odeon do this thing where for £5 you can go watch an early movie, which they guarantee is going to have like a 5-star future, essentially. But you just don't know what the film is going in.
Is it every month that they do this?
I don't think it's every month, because they did one a couple weeks ago and 2 weeks before that, which is the War on Everyone, where we went to, me and Henry.
Maybe it's just whenever they can get their hands on something.
Yeah.
I think that's more.
I think it's quite random. But basically, they give you 4 clues before you go in, and basically, we kind of knew it was going to be Arrival.
Yeah, people tend to work it out beforehand.
Yeah. So me and Ian went and watched this film, and I feel like I can safely say that it blew our minds.
Fuck me.
Like, let me tell you something. let me tell you something.
Wait until the episode finishes.
Let me tell you something. This is probably one of the best films this year. One of the smartest, like the most subtle, well-made, kind of best films this year. Like, it's definitely gonna get Oscar buzz. So basically, the story is that aliens come to Earth, 12 different spaceships in 12 random locations around the Earth, and it's based around a American linguistics expert played by Amy Adams, who's tasked with communicating with these aliens. And basically, Jeremy Renner's there as like a physics expert, and it's their job to kind of figure out why the aliens are here on Earth.
It's got the old Hollywood trope of extremely attractive, world-renowned scientists.
Yeah.
None of them look like Richard Dawkins.
But yeah, and basically that's all I want to say. Like, they're trying to figure out why the aliens here. If I tell you more, I feel like it will probably ruin the mood.
That's enough. I'm
like
intrigued.
going in, knowing as little as possible is the best thing for this film, because there's moments that kind of like really surprise you, kind of blow your mind, and it leaves you with like so many questions, which is so interesting.
The only thing I want to say, because I was supposed to say how fucking brilliant this film is.
Yeah.
It's one of them. I know it's good. I'm just not sure how good I think it is.
Yeah.
Because I'm just trying to wrestle with like all the stuff it gives me in my head. I think, but to show like how brilliant the filmmaking is by itself. Like Denis Villeneuve is like what the stuff he managed to do near the beginning. Like I'm not going to give much away, but obviously it's just like it's such a human take on a sci-fi story.
Yeah.
Which is certain, no one has like I was getting like we both said this when we came on. We're getting mad Interstellar vibes.
Oh yeah.
Ooh.
But
Like not just in terms of like the story, but also like the way it's shot,
the way it's
and,
filmed,
like,
yeah. But it's like it's
score.
it's more about the humans than
Yeah.
anything else. Like at near the beginning when there's all the news broadcasts going on.
Yeah.
Don't show you it. They only show you people's reactions.
Oh, that's cool.
And I'm like, that's fucking brilliant. It's
I
like
know.
because it's all this mania going on, but you don't see none of it happen. They don't give
Like
you it.
the way that Signs was all from one family's perspective.
Yeah.
It's not a worldwide thing.
Yeah.
And it was so it's just like little things like this, and the way it is a slow burn. That's the
Yeah.
one thing I will say. It's not boring, but it takes its time.
Yeah, like subtle.
It's
I feel like is the best way.
That's
to,
the best.
Yeah.
It's very subtle. It knows. It goes. Okay, let's get in there. Get in
There's
there,
no
get in
like peaks of excitement, basically.
there. It is just like it is getting slowly getting you there
Yeah,
until the payoff is fucking huge.
Yeah. There is this moment 3/4 into the film where you realise these things, like not you, but you and the character realise these things, and you're like, holy fuck.
Yeah.
That was so polite. The way you said that.
Holy fuck. It's like I literally audibly like gasped when I was watching the
Oh
film.
wow.
Yeah, I was like,
That's
because it kind of blows your mind. And like the interesting thing about this film is that it has these really interesting themes about like communication and like languages and how we deal with like the politics in the world.
Yeah.
Okay.
And I think it's such a different take on a sci-fi
Yeah.
film.
And I think that's one of the things I loved about
Yeah.
it. It's not like Independence Day where it's like, oh, aliens are invading, we need to kill them, they're here to hurt us.
Welcome to Earth.
Yeah.
It's more like what the fuck's going on.
Yeah.
It's more like Welcome to Earth.
Yeah.
It's just so smart. You know?
Question: are there lasers?
No.
No.
No Death Stars.
No, it's completely. It's like a Charlie Brooker thing of like, what if this happened?
Yeah.
Okay.
It's none of it's like. It's completely grounded.
Yeah.
It's
approached
Can
from
have
like a
lasers
science.
on the ground.
But those are like lasers that you see in like clubs and stuff, you know. Yeah, they're just like green lasers. That you see
Yeah,
sometimes,
yeah.
the only.
Unfortunately, there's no smoke machines either.
Yeah.
The thing.
Actually, there is a smoke machine in this film, so.
Ah.
The one
Yeah.
thing I said to Nick was when after we left the cinema, I was like, "Thank fuck, this guy's doing Blade Runner."
Oh,
Oh,
yeah,
wow.
yeah.
Oh,
I was
really?
like, yeah, I was like, this is gonna be so. I was even like a couple little things like even like there's loads like very subtle like long tracking shots sometimes as well.
Oh,
It's like
yeah.
just little like the filmmaking for this. That's why I compare it to Nolan because bringing so this level of filmmaking to a sci-fi film is just brilliant.
I'm a big fan of this guy. He made Prisoners and
Yeah.
Enemy, which I absolutely
And
love.
Sicario.
I watched Sicario the night before, which I was actually a big fan of as well.
Yeah.
And I'm really looking forward to this because when I watched Enemy for the first time, that was the first film I ever had to sit down and make notes to understand what exactly happened.
Yeah.
I wrote 4 sides of
I
A4
feel
just
like-
trying to work out what the fuck
Yeah,
went
see,
on.
I was saying
feel
to
like
Ian, this is like a film that you need to watch twice.
I feel
to
like
understand.
you could do that with this as well.
Are we going to be like Charlie and Always Sunny when he's got the strings and
Yeah.
notes?
In a
on
way,
the wall?
yeah.
Talk about Carol.
In a way.
Carol!
Well, no, yeah, like I put up my review this morning on Instagram and Twitter, and one of the things I said in it was that it leaves you with unanswered questions, but that's okay because they were never meant to be answered.
I do
and
love stuff like that.
It lets you think about it, and like all day today, because we watched it last night, I've just been thinking about it and thinking about how amazing it is and what these certain things in the
Good.
film meant, and yeah,
The only thing
Great.
the only thing I feel sorry for Amy Adams is because she's got Nocturnal Animals coming out as well.
yeah,
So it might spoil her vote coming Oscar season, which is
yeah.
going to be quite tricky because she is brilliant in this.
Or give her 2 votes.
Hopefully,
Yeah.
she got
She's going to Kate Winslet it.
two lead nominations.
Yeah.
That'd be great. But yeah, it's fucking.
But then they might factor both of them into it, possibly. Like Alicia Vikander got it for the Danish Girl, but I think everybody was secretly like, and Ex Machina.
yeah, but she should have got lead actress for
Yeah.
Next
Yeah,
Match
sure.
type of thing. But it's like, I recommend going to see this.
Yeah.
Definitely.
When's it out?
It's the 11th of November,
10th,
10th of November.
yeah.
When
It's
is
not
it?
for like 2 weeks.
When does it
So-
arrive?
Yeah, but see it and just have your mind blown
Yeah.
in many different
I'm
ways.
very, very excited for it.
Yeah.
That and The Accountant. Ian, you are raking in these previews.
Yeah.
No, it,
Yeah.
Soon they're going to be calling you Preview Ian.
Yeah, that's what they're going to call you.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I just love seeing the cogs turn in your head.
And they didn't find any traction.
So while we're talking previews, how was Rogue One?
Oh well.
You dare! You dare!
see this like a red dot appeared on my head. Then
Zoom to JJ, go that you fucking dead.
Yeah. JJ's holding the gun, but Mickey Mouse is giving the orders. You've got an open shot.
Right, so we go to our big review.
Yeah.
This is probably, arguably, I think, our strangest review yet.
Oh.
Oh.
It's certainly our most doctored review. Those cons still can't get anything.
It's one that deserves a PhD.
No.
How is that not funny?
I missed it, but...
The PhD. It's a doctorate.
Yeah.
Posthumous doctorate. Yeah.
So Doctor Strange! We went to see Doctor Strange in quite possibly the most ideal way possible.
Yeah.
Oh, God.
Which... Well, actually, no. There was a slight downside to it. We saw it in IMAX 3D at the BFI London
Which is perfect.
screening.
Which
It's a
is
great
the-
way to see it.
Which is the perfect way to see it.
Largest-
Unfortunately, we got up really early to watch it, and so we were all very tired when we watched
Yeah,
it.
we went to see it at 9 in the morning and I didn't sleep the night before.
No.
So
Henry was
my review won't be
on...
totally, I think, researched because I didn't fall asleep during this, but I just wasn't awake the whole time.
Yeah. You were on standby mode, and one of us needed to wiggle your mouse.
Yeah.
And I was sat next to you. I think it's fairly safe to say that we all pretty much loved this film.
Oh, yeah.
I liked it very much. There was this odd thing that kept going on throughout it where they kept projecting the inside of my eyelids onto the screen at random points. That was very strange.
Yeah. So, yeah, Doctor Strange is the latest Marvel film in the MCU, and it is definitely the strangest. I mean, obviously, but
Well, it's not Doctor Normal, is it?
It isn't Doctor Normal, though that is how it was hinted at in Comic-Con.
Oh, with
I remember that, yeah.
Wasn't Benedict Cumberbatch asked if he was going to play a Marvel character or something, and he said, "I'd love to play Nurse Normal or something like that."
That's the best video because no one gets it.
No one
The
gets
whole
it.
crowd's like, "Who's Nurse Normal?" And then and he's just even there with what like going, "Come on," and no one gets it. It's beautiful. I think it's like the Madagascar panel as well. It's like sounds very stupid.
Oh, really?
Yeah, I think he played. I think he's a voice in the Penguins movie. I think. And
I think he's the villain in it. But yeah, this is Doctor Strange, and it tackles a part of the Marvel universe that's only really been hinted at with the Asgardian stuff, which is the mystical, magical realms of the Marvel world. So many M's. M's and M's and M's.
Can anyone else go for some M&M's right now?
With
This podcast brought to you by Smarties.
with Mr. Mathers.
Mr. Mads. And Mads Mikkelsen.
So yeah, basically, Doctor Strange is a sort of like a Tony
It
Stark.
was an M&M joke. I just got it.
It was.
Oh my god.
Doctor Strange, or Stephen Strange, as his full name is, kind of starts out kind of like Tony Stark.
Very Tony Stark.
Rich, professional, genius man with an arrogant ego.
Very
And
charismatic.
But
Very
the
charismatic.
one slight difference is I think he's earned it more because
yeah, he's a neurosurgeon rather
Yeah.
than an arms dealer.
plus it was I think Tony Stark is more passed down from his father as well. Where I think it's more implied he's more of a self-made man. And
And he's a complete like a polymath. Like he has a eidetic memory, so he can pick things up really, really quickly. Which I guess kind of explains why he can train so easily in a montage.
Yeah.
Which I think
I've
that's a
never
great
seen-
reason for,
Yeah.
don't know.
Yeah, that's pretty good. I've never seen Benedict Cumberbatch play that kind of very intelligent, socially incapable character before.
So
Yeah.
unique, yeah.
Yeah.
Basically, what happens is he is in a car accident, which just completely mangles his hands.
completely fucks him up.
And destroys all the nerve endings in his hands, and no matter how much of his medical history he applies to his wounds, it doesn't bring the use of his hands back fully, and so he turns to more spiritual healing.
I do love the frustration when he's like, I know I could have saved me, but no one else could.
Yeah. And then like the scene where you see his hands for the first time all broken.
It's very scary.
Grim.
Really grim, and he looks to his closest friend at that point, who is his ex-lover, played by Rachel McAdams.
Christy!
Dr.
Does
Palmer.
he do that?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. I don't know.
Christy!
I must have missed that.
he looks at his hands and he says, "You've ruined me," because he wasn't the surgeon doing the operation, which I thought was
very upsetting.
really dark.
I love that it goes to that dark place.
Yeah, and I definitely got the feeling this is a more mature Marvel film.
Mm-hmm.
This is one. It's definitely not for kids. Not in that it's not suitable for kids. It's just that
it's not the audience.
They won't
it's not
understand
meant
it.
for kids. I don't think.
No.
Their tiny little brains won't understand it.
Yeah.
Well,
yours managed next.
I don't like all this Nick hates.
This is where we find out if Nick is playing as the diplomatic Greek or the militaristic Greek. And anyway, he goes to get more spiritual healing and is then taught the spiritual arts, which he initially does not accept, but then later accepts and later becomes Dr. Stephen Strange, Sorcerer Supreme.
And then have to stop generic world takeover plan.
Yes. Well, yeah, it is quite generic, but the way that the plan and the film unfolds, it does so in a really creative and imaginative way.
The resolution is very, very interesting.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. Like the CGI in this film is amazing.
Yeah, I think if we go around the circle and share, I'd say my favourite thing about this is the creativity with it.
Yeah.
I think Marvel here. Well, I can't give all the credit to Marvel as a conglomerate. Scott Derrickson, the director, and I want to say the cinematographer, but I don't know his name. But
I don't know the writer's name either.
That person, whoever
Scott
they are,
Derrickson was one of the writers on it as well.
Oh, right.
he or she did a fantastic job just putting together the action sequences, because you have an action sequence which happens backwards.
Oh yeah.
You have an action sequence that happens without gravity, or rather the gravity is all over the walls. And you have an action sequence which happens in another dimension, and where time is it does not exist. I think that is Marvel and this team not resting on Marvel's laurels and just going, okay, we know we can do a traditional superhero film. We know we can do big laser fights and throwing things around at people. How about we just do something completely different and just blow the
Let's make Guardians of the Galaxy look like a safe bet.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. It's the most creative action scene I've ever seen in my life, I can safely say.
And there's a lot of comparisons between this and Inception.
Yeah.
Inception is a bit of a one-trick pony compared to this.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, I'm not going to shit on Inception. I do prefer Inception to this, but I think this
Inception's
feels like a
amazing,
visually untethered Inception.
I feel like you can't compare them, but they are two separate beasts.
Yeah.
Because Inception's just Christopher Nolan's Bond.
No, people.
Really.
The reason we would even mention Inception is because of the visuals of it, where it's got the one world folding over another,
and especially the a corridor fight scene where gravity is twirling around.
Yeah. In those two comparisons, but it's totally different.
Yeah.
But that's what I took away from this film the most, which is just
that's
creativity.
Same for me. The main reason for this standing out over other Marvel things, because the story is fairly template, I think.
Yeah.
It's pretty similar to Iron Man.
Yeah.
But it is the insane visuals. The initial trippy sequence where Doctor Strange is first shown other dimensions, other realms. I don't fully understand what was going on. But it was
essentially someone was holding a kaleidoscope and just spinning it.
Yeah.
And just seeing what happens.
While watching Spaceship, it looked like. Because
But
the visuals were insane.
Yeah, in that sequence, you can definitely see Scott Derrickson's horror background.
Oh, yeah. A scene where his hands deform in a way that was very unsettling.
Yeah, like the tips of his fingers turn into hands, and then those hands turn into more hands, and there's more hands, and more hands. And then all the while it's happening, there's like black bodies coming out of the background to like tear him apart.
Oh, and hands forming faces.
Yeah.
And it's very unsettling, but it's visually spectacular. One of the coolest things I've seen in cinema on a visual level in a very, very long time.
If you really want to go to the sort of fine microscopic point of the imagery, there are so many points in the film where it focuses really heavily on hands in general, because his hands play a huge part of the narrative, and all of the spells that they cast in the film are done with your hands. The thing, the MacGuffin that lets him save the day, he uses his hand to control.
It's very, very cool. And as I said to you guys, but after we watched this, I said I almost felt bad for loving the special effects so much because I felt like I'd been tricked by computers. And then I kind of had a moment and realised, well, all of these crazy visual trickery, like churches turning inside out into music videos, that's all been designed by people.
Yeah.
And so it is almost like the computer technology stuff is allowing people to do what could never have been physically done.
I mean, if you think of it as like a piece of art, you know? Just like
Totally.
Because it is kind of beautiful to look at the same time, and just marvel at like what they can achieve.
Marvel at what they can do.
Yeah. I didn't actually intend to say that. But
I would say it's not all positives though. I think the bad guy was very weak.
Yeah,
as can be expected now.
I kind of agree with that, right? But I think there's enough good stuff in that I can overlook it.
See, my thing is, I think I've seen a lot of reviews pick that up and say, "Oh, Mads Mikkelsen's like it's just another generic Marvel villain." But I think there's a bit. I reckon.
Yeah, there's
a bit more to him than just that. I think his screen presence is a lot better than many of the Marvel villains because he's Mads Mikkelsen. But I think the pathos that's given him is a lot more interesting than.
Which I think they played up. Wish they played up more because there's a really throwaway line of exposition where they're saying why he's kind of gone off the deep end, and it's because he lost his family.
Yeah. But I was gonna say you can kind of compare him to Darth Vader in a way.
Yeah.
With those motivations.
I think they should have played. It's like the anti-Doctor Strange basically because they should have played.
Yeah.
He's basically the Ancient One trained him, and he basically went, "I'm sick of your shit," and left. And that's I'm more interested in because he's not a bad guy. He's just. We won't go into spoilers, obviously, but he finds things out and he's like, I'm not putting up with this anymore.
Yeah.
And does his own thing. And I think there's a lot more interesting motivations and.
Yeah, there's so many interesting things.
Yeah,
I think it suffers from him not being in the film as much as I wish.
Yeah,
that's
that was very strange. He was there in the first scene and then not much happens until like halfway through.
My biggest criticism would be I wanted this film to be a lot longer.
Yeah.
It comes in just under 2 hours. I could easily have a 2.5 hour film.
Yeah.
As long as they were filled with more trippy visual bonkers.
I would have just
Space Odyssey sequences.
In fairness, though, I would have had more of his origin.
Yeah, that's what I was gonna say. It
does cut straight to the point. Like it does go straight. It goes like here he is, crash.
Yeah, we only really get 1 or 2 scenes of him being cocky.
Surgeon.
Yeah. I want to see more of the magic worlds, basically. You know.
Well, it would have been interesting because the Ancient One, who's played by Tilda Swinton, to great effect.
Yeah.
She
roundest head in the industry.
Oh my god!
It's true. I could not stop looking, even in IMAX. I could not stop
looking. That's actually how her agent gets her jobs. Is
she's actually the
Disney. She's got the roundest head in the industry.
She's actually the mascot for Beak Pens. You know the one with the little spherical head. Yeah. Basically, she says at one point in the film that she's actually been watching Stephen Strange for a while and she sees great potential and possibility in his future. And I think it would be really cool if we'd see more of his origin, but in the background there's hints of him being watched or like being surveilled.
And you think he may have been like being stalked by malicious
essence,
rather than it being somebody who actually sees something in it.
Yeah, it could have been that. I agree with everyone in that it could have been longer and there's everything more I would have seen more.
I think something we haven't really talked about as much is the performances, which were all pretty great, I think.
Pretty awesome.
Yeah.
There is the Mads Mikkelsen problem, which he was good, but that could have been anyone, I think.
I guess.
Yes and no, I think.
It could have been Oscar Isaac as Apocalypse.
Actually, Oscar Isaac would have been pretty cool in this role.
Like I do love Mads Mikkelsen. I think like fans of Pusher and Hannibal will know how great he is. But
Benedict Wong is great,
as
always.
So good.
It's great, and
Rachel McAdams
is great.
Yeah.
Fantastic as always.
Again, I love that this being a more mature Marvel film. It's more mature in its perspective of like the romance.
Yeah.
Because it's not just Thor where the hero lands, smooches the girl, and then lifts off again.
Yeah, and it doesn't give you what you want either. Really, it's like it doesn't.
Like they set up a very mature backstory for her, which is that she used to date Strange, but she doesn't now. And then when he gets all of his super duper powers and she saves
his life, suddenly swoon over.
Yeah, she doesn't just run off with him.
It's much more adult than that.
Yeah,
much more.
And I love. Obviously, I think we'll go into this when we go into spoilers. Like even like Doctor Strange's like motivations at times just seems very human in how he goes about it.
Yeah, and again, like I like that they preserve his ego throughout the film long enough that it is believable.
Yes.
That he doesn't just have this like complete revelation. Is like, oh, I should be a good guy. It's like it takes several things to happen to him before he goes, yeah, I should probably step up to the plate on this.
And Benedict Cumberbatch was very, very good as well. He was,
It seems like he was the only like the other choices were like Joaquin Phoenix and Jared Leto. Were like the other two.
they seem too serious. I think.
yeah.
Yeah, that's
Someone,
the thing,
my friend Jack really wanted Ethan Hawke to do this, and I actually think he'd have done a really good job.
Ethan Hawke would have been
He
great.
would have been interesting, yeah.
But I think Benedict Cumberbatch for this Doctor Strange was the perfect choice.
Yeah.
He's got the right kind of
I could-
mix of seriousness and levity for the kind of Marvel
I think so. I
film.
was listening to an interview and he said it's somehow got the perfect thing because he can do those perfect, like the American throwaway lines. But I think because he can tell he's a theatre actor, because he can bring the seriousness to certain
Gravity.
See, one
gravity
thing
to certain
that
parts of it.
annoyed me throughout the whole film with him is just his American accent.
I
found it kind of-
completely got
And
over
to
it.
be fair,
I
in this
couldn't,
role,
and I just found it a little bit annoying.
in this role, you really need someone to bring the gravity because it's all
Yeah.
over the place in this film.
I'll have to admit, Nick, though, watching the trailers, it did bother me. But as soon as the film started,
I don't. For me, I
completely got
kept
over it.
noticing it, and I think maybe it's because I'm so used to his like English accent or something.
Yeah.
You know,
Yeah,
I'm
I
watching
watched this,
Sherlock.
having not watched Sherlock. I only started watching Sherlock in the last week, so it didn't really bother me
Yeah,
much. I knew him
maybe
from
it's because I've
stuff,
watched
but-
other stuff that he's in. Yeah.
But I do think he looks the part. I'm not familiar with Doctor Strange other than this, but I do think I can't imagine anybody else pulling that look off now.
Yeah.
And
Like
coming away from this film, I can't wait for him to interact with everyone else.
Yes.
Oh.
Yeah,
so-
definitely. And he's, I imagine, going to be a key role in how everybody else gets to interact.
Yeah, there's two post-credit stingers. One
Which
of them
we'll
definitely we'll definitely discuss in our next part. But it definitely teases Thor Ragnarok significantly. But yeah, Kevin Feige, the mastermind behind Marvel films, he's already said that Doctor Strange is going to be a major part of why the Avengers are around in the next few years.
Definitely. Do we think we're going to get Doctor Strange too?
I think so. Yeah.
Doctor Stranger.
After the Infinity War stuff, I think.
Yeah.
Well, that's going to be a long time.
It
away,
is going to be a long
though.
time, but I reckon he's going to be in films before then.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So we'll see him again.
True.
So what do we think review-wise? Solid 4.5 stars.
I said
Would
5.
you guys say as an amalgamation?
I think when I came out of the cinema, I always come out and I just hype up my review because I've just come out of it.
It's because it's still hard.
Yeah. I just can't get down from it. So now that I've looked at it with sort of fresher eyes, I'm gonna give it a 4.5. I think.
Yeah. See, that's what I was gonna say.
Yeah, I think
I
that's
gave it a 5, but I think more realistically it's 4.5. But
I think this is
I did
my
love this a lot.
problem with a lot of the Marvel stuff is that I'd say other than probably Civil War, they tend not to stick with me after I've watched them.
Okay.
They don't really nothing really plays on my mind about them or anything like that. But
Definitely fine.
yeah, so I think it is perfectly enjoyable, really, really fun film experience if you can stay awake the whole time. Just don't
Not a criticism of the film.
No,
though.
just don't go and see it at 9 in the fucking morning. But it's good stuff. It's very good stuff.
Yeah.
So we are going to be talking spoilers on a separate episode.
Yeah, we're gonna,
Episode,
because I think there was so much we could easily go into, so I think we're gonna do more of a spoiler cast.
Yeah.
And we're also playing a game on the second episode.
special
Yes.
Marvel themed game.
Yes.
So
So
should we say what we're doing?
we play Kevin
yeah.
Feige.
Yeah, we're gonna take completely weird and wonderful obscure characters from Marvel's comic book history, and then we're gonna give them awesome films and TV series.
Yes, and we're actually going to make them as well.
Yes, yeah, we're gonna go out with a camera and we're gonna film Paste Pot Pete. That's
Basically.
actual character.
That's a
from
teaser thing to
Marvel
come.
Yeah. Google it.
That's our post-credits stinger.
Okay, so
Toodaloo.
stay tuned for the next part.
Yeah.
Bye.
Bye.
Bye, guys.